The silence of deep space shattered as the massive human warship Odyssey pierced through the quantum barrier, its hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Captain Naomi Blackwood stood at the command center, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing their position in uncharted space. The ship's breakthrough into the Forbidden Zone wasn't an accident. It was humanity's bold statement to the galaxy. "Quantum drive stabilized, Captain." Lieutenant Thomas Jensen reported from his station, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. "We've successfully crossed the barrier." Blackwood nodded, her expression revealing nothing of the tension she felt. After decades of preparation, humanity had finally developed the technology to challenge the Helios Empire's dominance. The Odyssey represented everything Earth had achieved, a perfect blend of power and innovation. Multiple contacts detected. Security Chief Diana Rodriguez's voice cut through the quiet hum of the bridge. Energy signatures match known Helios Empire patterns. They're closing fast. The response was quicker than expected. 3 crystalline vessels emerged from hyperspace, their organic-looking designs a stark contrast to the Odyssey's angular human engineering. The Empire's ships glowed with an otherworldly blue light, their very presence a warning to those who dared venture into their territory. "Open a channel," Blackwood ordered, straightening her uniform. "Let's see how they react to our presence." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the alien commander. Governor Krelthen's serpentine features twisted in what might have been surprise or disgust. It was hard to tell with the Heliosians. His translucent scales shimmed as he spoke. "Human vessel, you have breached the Forbidden Zone. Your presence here violates the Treaty of Proxima. Withdraw immediately or face destruction." Blackwood's response was measured but firm. "Governor Krelthen, I am Captain Naomi Blackwood of the Earth Warship Odyssey. The treaty you mentioned was forced upon humanity when we were weak. We no longer recognize its authority." The bridge crew tensed as the alien vessels moved to surround them. Chief Engineer Raj Patel's voice came through the internal comm. "Captain, all systems are primed. The quantum core is stable and ready. Your species' arrogance will be its downfall," Krelthen hissed. "The Empire has ruled these stars for 10,000 years. You are children playing with forces beyond your understanding." "Perhaps," Blackwood replied, a slight smile touching her lips. "But children have a habit of surprising their elders." The tension mounted as more Heliosian ships appeared, their weapons charging. Lieutenant Jensen's hands hovered over the tactical controls, ready for whatever came next. The Odyssey's revolutionary quantum shields hummed to life, creating an invisible barrier around the massive warship. "Final warning, human vessel. Retreat or be destroyed." Blackwood's response changed everything. "We're not here to retreat, Governor. We're here to change the galaxy." She turned to her crew. "Battle stations. Show them what humanity can do." The Heliosian ships opened fire first, their energy weapons lancing through space. But the Odyssey's quantum shields held firm, absorbing the attacks with unprecedented efficiency. The human warship's response was devastating, a barrage of gravimetric torpedoes that twisted space itself around the enemy vessels. "Direct hits on 2 targets," Rodriguez reported, her voice steady despite the chaos. "Their shields are failing." The battle had begun, but this was just the first step in humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage. As the Odyssey engaged the Empire's ships, its very presence sent shockwaves through the established order of the cosmos. The Forbidden Zone had been breached, and nothing would ever be the same. Krelthen's face contorted with rage as his ship struggled against the human vessel's superior technology. "Impossible. How did you achieve such advancement?" "You kept us contained, Governor," Blackwood replied calmly. "You gave us no choice but to evolve, to innovate, to become stronger. Now you face the consequences of your actions." The Odyssey's quantum core pulsed with power as it prepared for the next phase of the battle. Humanity had crossed the threshold, and there was no turning back. The age of submission was over, and a new chapter in galactic history was about to begin. The Helios Empire's response to humanity's incursion was swift and massive. Grand Admiral Thexfor, Supreme Commander of the Empire's Third Fleet, watched from his flagship as hundreds of crystalline warships emerged from hyperspace. The Odyssey had proven itself against a small defensive force, but now it faced the full might of the Empire's most powerful armada. Status report on the human vessel, Thexfor demanded, his metallic eyes scanning the tactical display. First Officer Meyerlith stepped forward, her translucent form shifting in the ambient light. The vessel remains in position, Admiral. Their shields are unlike anything we've encountered. Our initial scan suggests they're using some form of quantum manipulation technology. On board the Odyssey, Captain Blackwood studied the growing enemy fleet with calculated interest. The ship's advanced sensors painted a clear picture of the threat they faced. "Mr. Patel, how's our quantum core holding up?" "Stable and strong, Captain," the engineer replied through the comm. "The new resonance modifications are working better than expected. We could take on twice this number." Lieutenant Jensen's hands moved across his console. "Captain, we're being hailed by their flagship." On screen, Blackwood ordered, straightening her uniform. Admiral Thexfor's imposing figure filled the view screen. Unlike the serpentine Governor Krulthan, Thexfor belonged to the Empire's warrior caste, his crystalline exoskeleton marking him as a veteran of countless battles. "I am Grand Admiral Thexfor of the Helios Empire. Your ship has committed an act of war by entering our space and attacking our vessels. Surrender now, and your crew will be treated with mercy." Blackwood's response was calm but resolute. "Admiral, we both know that's not going to happen. Humanity has spent too long under your shadow. We're here to prove we deserve our place among the stars." The battle erupted with spectacular intensity. The Empire's fleet moved in perfect formation, their weapons creating a web of destructive energy. But the Odyssey was ready. Its quantum shields bent space itself, redirecting the enemy fire harmlessly into the void. "Execute Pattern Omega," Blackwood commanded. "Show them what we can do." The Odyssey's response was devastating. The human warship's gravimetric torpedoes tore through the enemy formation, creating localized gravity wells that pulled the crystalline ships into each other. The precision of the attack shocked the Imperial forces. This was not the primitive species they had contained for so long. Security Chief Rodriguez monitored the tactical display. "Multiple enemy ships disabled, Captain. Their formation is breaking apart." In his command center, Admiral Thexfor raged at his subordinates. "How is this possible? One ship cannot stand against an entire fleet." "Sir," Meyerlith reported, "they're using our own tactics against us, but with technology we've never seen. Their weapons aren't just destroying our ships, they're manipulating the very fabric of space." The battle continued to unfold, but not as the Empire had expected. The Odyssey moved with impossible grace for a ship its size, its quantum drive allowing it to appear almost simultaneously at different points in space. Each appearance was marked by another devastating attack. "Chief Engineer Patel," Blackwood called, "initiate the quantum cascade." "Aye, Captain." "Quantum cascade initiating." All hands braced for temporal displacement. The Odyssey's quantum core pulsed with blinding energy. Time and space warped around the ship, creating multiple temporal echoes. To the Empire's fleet, it appeared as if they were fighting dozens of copies of the human warship, each one just as deadly as the original. "Impossible." Thexfor bellowed as his ships fell one by one to attacks that seemed to come from everywhere at once. No species should have this level of technology. The battle reached its crescendo as the Odyssey's temporal echoes converged on the Imperial flagship. The combined gravitational stress shattered the crystalline vessel's structural integrity, forcing Thexfor to abandon his command center. "Signal to all Imperial vessels." Thexfor growled as he was led to an escape pod. "Tactical retreat. Full withdrawal. The humans have won this day." As the Empire's fleet retreated in disarray, Captain Blackwood allowed herself a small smile. The battle was won, But this was only the beginning. Humanity had proven itself capable of standing against the greatest power in the galaxy. "Send word to Earth Command," she ordered. "The path is clear. Operation Starbreak is ready for Phase 2. The Odyssey hung in space, its quantum core humming with power, surrounded by the debris of what was once thought to be an invincible fleet. The galaxy was about to change, and humanity would no longer be denied its place among the stars. Deep within the Odyssey's engineering section, Chief Engineer Raj Patel worked tirelessly at his station, his fingers dancing across holographic displays as he monitored the quantum core's performance. The battle had pushed their systems to the limit, but the true test was yet to come. "Engineering to bridge," he called out, wiping sweat from his brow. "Captain, you need to see these readings." In the command center, Captain Blackwood studied the data streaming across her personal display. The quantum core wasn't just powering their weapons and shields. It was evolving. Every engagement with the Empire's forces had provided new data, new patterns, new possibilities. "What am I looking at, Mr. Patel?" "The impossible, Captain," he replied, excitement evident in his voice. "The quantum core is learning. Each interaction with enemy weapons is teaching it new ways to manipulate spacetime. We're not just winning battles, we're becoming stronger with every encounter." The news spread through the ship like wildfire. Humanity's greatest achievement wasn't just the technology they'd created. It was their ability to adapt, to grow, to become more than they were. The Odyssey wasn't just a warship. It was becoming a testament to human ingenuity. Lieutenant Jensen's voice cut through the excitement. "Captain, long-range sensors are picking up something massive. Multiple Imperial signatures, but different from anything we've seen before." The main view screen shifted to show a new threat approaching. The Empire had deployed its legendary Worldbreaker fleet, massive crystalline structures that dwarfed even the Odyssey. These weren't just warships. They were mobile battle stations, each one capable of destroying entire planets. Security Chief Rodriguez's face paled slightly. "5 Worldbreakers, Captain. Our intel suggested they only had 3 in existence." Blackwood's expression remained steady. "Mr. Patel, is the quantum core ready for what we discussed?" "Yes, Captain. Project Phoenix is ready. But I should warn you, this goes beyond anything we've tested. The simulations suggest." "We're beyond simulations now, Chief. Humanity's future depends on what we do next." The Worldbreakers approached with deliberate slowness, their massive forms blocking out the stars behind them. Each one bristled with weapons that could tear through conventional shields like paper. But the Odyssey was anything but conventional. "All hands," Blackwood announced shipwide. "Prepare for quantum transformation. This is what we've trained for." Chief Engineer Patel initiated the sequence from engineering. The quantum core's energy began to flow through new pathways, channels that had been hidden within the Odyssey's structure. The ship's very form began to change, its molecular structure shifting under the influence of quantum forces. "Project Phoenix engaging," Patel reported, his voice tight with concentration. "Quantum restructuring at 30%, 60%, 85%. The Odyssey's transformation stunned even its own crew. The ship's hull became fluid, shifting and flowing like liquid metal. New weapons emerged, systems that had been concealed within its quantum-enhanced structure. The vessel that faced the Worldbreakers was no longer just a warship. It was humanity's ultimate achievement. "By the eternal stars," one of the Worldbreaker commanders transmitted. "What have they become?" The Odyssey's response was beyond anything the Empire had prepared for. Quantum-enhanced energy beams lanced out, not just damaging the Worldbreakers, but temporarily phasing them out of normal spacetime. The human vessel moved through dimensions the Empire's sensors couldn't even detect, striking from angles that should have been impossible. "Keep pushing," Blackwood ordered as the battle intensified. "Show them everything we can do." The quantum core pulsed with unprecedented power as Patel pushed it to its limits. The Odyssey's attacks weren't just destroying the Empire's mighty vessels. They were rewriting the rules of space combat itself. Each strike demonstrated capabilities that the Empire had thought impossible for centuries to come. In engineering, Patel watched in amazement as the quantum core's evolution accelerated. "Captain, we're seeing new patterns emerging. The core is creating defensive and offensive capabilities we never even theorized. It's like the ship is learning to think for itself." The battle raged on, but it was clear that humanity's hidden strengths had changed everything. The Empire's greatest weapons, their mighty world breakers, found themselves outmaneuvered and overwhelmed by a single vessel that refused to follow the conventional rules of warfare. As the last world breaker retreated, its crystalline structure cracked and failing, Captain Blackwood stood on her bridge, watching the aftermath of their victory. The Odyssey had revealed its true nature, and with it, humanity had proven itself to be far more than anyone had expected. "Send word to all Imperial forces in the sector," she commanded. "The age of humanity has begun. We will no longer be contained. We will no longer be denied. The galaxy will learn to respect us not through fear, but through the recognition of what we can achieve." The transformed Odyssey hung in space, its quantum-enhanced form a beacon of human potential. The Empire had sought to keep humanity confined, limited, controlled. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve beyond anyone's expectations. The next phase of the conflict was about to begin, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. News of the Odyssey's victory over the Worldbreaker fleet spread through the galaxy like a shockwave. In the imperial capital of Helios Prime, the Eternal Council gathered for the first time in centuries, their crystalline forms reflecting the gravity of the situation. The impossible had happened. A single human vessel had shattered their military supremacy. Supreme Chancellor Vaxtil addressed the assembled council, his ancient form crackling with nervous energy. "The humans have evolved beyond our calculations, their quantum technology, their adaptability. They've surpassed every limitation we try to impose." On board the transformed Odyssey, Captain Blackwood received an unexpected transmission. The Eternal Council was requesting a dialogue, not as superiors addressing an upstart species, but as equals seeking understanding. It was the moment humanity had been waiting for. "Chief Engineer Patel," Blackwood called through the ship's comm. "Status of our systems." "Better than ever, Captain," Patel replied, his voice filled with pride. "The quantum core has stabilized at a level we never thought possible. The ship's transformation is complete, and we're still discovering new capabilities." Lieutenant Jensen looked up from his station. "Multiple Imperial vessels approaching, Captain. They're flying under diplomatic colors." The Empire's diplomatic fleet emerged from hyperspace, led by a magnificent vessel that seemed to be carved from living crystal. Supreme Chancellor Vaxtil himself had come to meet with the humans, an unprecedented honor that showed just how much the galaxy had changed. "Open a channel," Blackwood ordered, straightening her uniform. "Let's make history." The view screen came to life, showing the ancient Chancellor's weathered features. "Captain Blackwood," he began, his tone respectful, "your actions have forced us to confront an uncomfortable truth. We sought to contain humanity because we feared what you might become. In doing so, we caused exactly what we feared most." "Fear often has that effect, Chancellor," Blackwood replied diplomatically. "But it doesn't have to define our future relationship." The negotiations that followed would reshape the galaxy. The Odyssey's quantum core hummed quietly as representatives from both sides met in neutral space. Security Chief Rodriguez and Lieutenant Jensen stood guard as Blackwood presented humanity's terms, not demands for revenge, but proposals for cooperation and mutual growth. "The quantum technology you've developed," Vaxtil observed, studying the transformed Odyssey with wonder, "it's beyond anything we thought possible for millennia to come. How did you achieve such advancement in isolation?" Chief Engineer Patel, invited to join the diplomatic talks, stepped forward. "You gave us no choice but to look inward, to push the boundaries of what we thought possible. Every barrier you put up became a challenge to overcome. The quantum core wasn't just an invention. It was an evolution of human potential. The negotiations continued for days as both sides worked to forge a new future. The Empire would acknowledge humanity's right to expand beyond their solar system, and in return, humans would share their quantum technology, not as a tribute, but as equals in a new galactic partnership. The age of isolation is over, Blackwood declared as she signed the historic accord. Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through cooperation and mutual respect. The Eternal Council ratified the agreement, and news spread quickly throughout the Empire's territories. The species they had once dismissed as primitive had become their equals, their future partners in exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. As the diplomatic fleet prepared to depart, Chancellor Vaxtil made one final transmission to the Odyssey. Captain Blackwood, you've shown us that evolution cannot be contained, that progress cannot be stopped. Perhaps it was we who needed to learn and grow. The Odyssey's crew watched as the Imperial ships disappeared into hyperspace. Their mission had succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. Humanity had not just proven their worth, they had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. Set course for Earth, Blackwood commanded, a smile touching her lips. It's time to share the good news. The transformed warship turned gracefully, its quantum-enhanced systems humming with power. As they prepared to return home, the crew knew they had been part of something extraordinary. The Forbidden Zone was forbidden no more, and humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. Message from Earth Command, Captain, Lieutenant Jensen reported. They're asking for a status update. Blackwood looked at her crew, Patel at engineering, Rodriguez at security, Jensen at his station, each one representing the best of what humanity could achieve. Tell them mission accomplished. Tell them a new era has begun. The Odyssey engaged its quantum drive, leaving behind the scene of humanity's greatest diplomatic triumph. The ship that had breached the Forbidden Zone had done more than win a military victory. It had opened the door to a future where cooperation replaced conflict, where fear gave way to understanding. As the vessel disappeared into quantum space, its story already becoming legend, the galaxy watched and wondered what humanity would achieve next. The Forbidden Zone had become a bridge between civilizations, and the dawn of a new era had truly begun.